Hey everyone, welcome to my first fall tutorial. So we're going to be starting off with foundation as usual. This is the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect foundation and concealer. So this is the lightest shade, and as you can see it is a little bit too yellow for me, but that's okay. It'll look a little bit more normal as everything kind of comes together, but I kind of wish that they made more of a lighter shade, because this is the lightest shade and I wish they made something a tiny bit lighter, maybe something a little bit more pinky tone, because this is a bit yellow for me. Even though I do really like the feel of it and how it feels on my skin, it is very full coverage, so it is a little heavy, but I still really like it. I just wish that they made something a little more closer to my skin tone. Okay, so moving on to concealer, I am just using my NYX HD concealer. I don't remember what shade it's in because when I was using it this time, I was pretty much like, yeah, clearly almost running out of it. So I think I threw it out right after I was using it that day. So I'm using it to conceal right underneath my eyes, just to cover up any dark circles, down the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, my chin, and a little bit onto my eyelids to kind of go over the primer. And now I'm using my Master Contour Stick by Maybelline to contour my nose. So I'll just use the darker side down either side of my nose, and I'll use the lighter side, of course, to go down the bridge of my nose. And I'll just buff that out with my Beauty Blender. Okay, so now I'm just taking my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk to highlight my inner corners. And I kind of wish I didn't do this, because at the end, when everything is all done, it looks so freaking bright. And I don't know how I feel about it, but anyway, I'm just taking my Lorac Pro 2 palette to take just any really skin tone color to set the primer, just because when the primer kind of sits for a little bit, it tends to get kind of tacky. And now we're just taking our 35F palette and my super dirty blending brush, and I'm just taking two of the matte shades at the bottom row, and I'm just using this as my transition shade. And now just taking an angled brush, I'm taking the first color in the palette, which is just a shimmery white, and popping that on my brow bone. And then right after, I'm going to take my blending brush again and just kind of blend out any harsh lines there. And then I'm just going to take a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take that same white color and put it on my inner corners right on top of where I applied the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. Okay, so now finally for the fun part. I am taking a pencil brush, and I'm going to take the fourth color down in that first column, and it's a really pretty shimmery plum shade. And I'm going to be popping that in the inner third of my eye. And this is kind of going to be like a halo smoky eye a little bit, because we're also going to put that on the outer third of my eye as well. And we're just going to blend that out as much as we possibly can. Okay, so now I'm just taking another brighter plum shade in the palette, and that is going to go right in the center of our lid between the darker color. And now I'm just going back in with that darker plum shade and darkening up the inner and outer third of my eyelid again. And then once again, I'm just going back in with that brighter plum shade and deepening that up again. I did this a couple of times over and over just to deepen up the look, but I did have to use Fix Plus by MAC to brighten up the center of my lid, because even though it looks very pigmented in the palette, it wasn't coming up very well on my lid. So the Fix Plus really helped to bring out the look more. So now I'm going back in with my fluffy blending brush, and I'm just taking those two matte shades that I used for my transition color and going back in to blend out any harsh edges. So as you can tell, there is a ton of fallout from this palette just because so many of the eyeshadows are so shimmery. So I used my Age Rewind Concealer by Maybelline to brighten up my under eye area again. And that's just me being an idiot. And now I'm blending out that concealer with my Beauty Blender. So here I'm just going back and touching up the inner corners of my eyes, and now I'm just taking my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Natural to set the rest of my face. So here I'm just taking my translucent powder by Covergirl. It's a dupe for the Laura Mercier one, and I'm just setting that underneath my under eyes where I put my concealer, down the bridge of my nose, once again my Cupid's bow, anywhere where I would put concealer. So now I'm just taking my original Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I'm taking one of the darker shades to contour my cheekbones. And I'm just using that to kind of bronze up my forehead since I'm already extremely pale. You know, this is going to just give me a little bit of color. And once I'm done doing that, I'm just going to be taking my Age Rewind Concealer by Maybelline once again, and I'm going to use that to kind of carve out the contour a little bit. And I'll just take my Beauty Blender just to kind of give it that more defined look. And of course, you know, you always want to set everything, so I'm just taking my Covergirl Translucent powder again and setting where I put that concealer. You always want to set wherever you put your concealer so that it doesn't separate and crease throughout the day. So now I'm just taking my blush palette by BH Cosmetics and using one of the pinky shades to put on the apples of my cheeks. So next I'm going to be taking a flat liner brush, and I'm just going to be taking that shadow that I used in the center of my lid and putting that on my bottom lash line. And with a Sigma F35 brush, I'm going to be taking my Gerard Cosmetics highlighter in Grace to highlight all of the high points of my face. So this is what my eyeliner turned out to look like. Since I can't sit still, I guess, when the camera's all the way up in my face, I just can't stay in the view. So I skipped over trying to film my eyeliner, and now I'm just taking Benefit Cosmetics their Real Mascara to put on my lashes, obviously. So at this point I was like so frustrated because I had tried on like 3 different lipsticks before deciding on Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Craft. Everything else just looked stupid. So whatever berry colored lip you can find would look perfect with this look. So that's it, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. See you in the next video.
Does your mama know you dance like that?